This is my journal entry for the last day of the year. Um, the last day of the year, which is actually now New Year's. Fireworks were going off. My little dog there, she's terrified of fireworks. People shoot these things off, and then she just gets into my stuff, knocks it on the floor, and gets it dirty, and she's terrified. So I don't like that. She was over here by me for a while, and now the fireworks have stopped. She's still a little nervous, but you can see she's laying on the couch now. So it is actually New Year's. It's 2026 now, but this journal entry is only for December 31st, 2025. It's just a little bit after midnight now, so I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. It was a day of spiritual warfare. It wasn't a good day. It could have been better, I mean. Just kind of nothing working out right, if that makes sense. I'll go, on the back of this page, I always forget stuff, so then, I was putting together, some stuff that maybe I didn't explain well in the previous video, or I forgot about, and so, I still have not got a hold of the gas company, so if they want to shut off my heat, and it's 20 degrees outside, or colder than that, then, maybe I will go to the lawyer and I will sue them. I don't know what to say because I've tried to call them a bunch and I sat on hold for an hour and no one answers the phone. So, yeah, I'm not going to put up with this. I don't know what to do. But I'm not going to be taken advantage of by anyone. And this includes all of these businesses and companies. And I loved Panera Bread, but then they only offer this discount. Now I don't have money for it, but I'm just saying they only offer this discount if you have a cell phone. App-only discounts now. Guess what? I'm not gonna go there. I've got a gift card left. I got a $10 gift card that's good in January at Panera, so I will use that. But past my gift card, I am not. The dog's making noise. I'm not going there again. And I'm not going, it's I like McDonald's too. But, they also, have this app-only stuff. So I think I want to sue people. I want to sue everybody that forces you to have a cell phone to get discounts. And this is how you get those little game pieces. They make you use a cell phone. Why am I even talking about this? I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Oh, yeah, because the gas company. Yeah, none of them. Oh, we'll text you when we're on the way, but we can't tell you when. All of them. Okay, you want to shut off my heat? Then I'm just going to go get a lawyer. This last year, within the last few months, there was one that was free that popped up. And you only pay if you win. Before then, I haven't been able to see anything. So, Panera, I'm not going to you anymore. Maybe if these places, send me $20 and apologize, then I might. And they stop doing this. I might. But, right now, I'm not buying food anyways, but it's when I say I'm not going to do something, I actually mean it. I keep my word. And if you are forcing people to have cell phones and get brain cancer, then I don't think that I'm going to be buying your products anymore. And also, I don't like having to work for myself. I don't like having to check myself out when I go to the store, which is hardly ever. I don't really buy much now. I don't like having to do, the cashier job. I used to be a cashier, and I got paid for it. It wasn't very much. But anyways, now we get to be cashiers, and people are taking their own discounts. But, okay, what am I talking about here? Yeah, that's still not done. I was supposed to get a call from Mercari, who wants you to have a cell phone app. They force you to have a cell phone app to even sell on their site. I have almost 900 reviews on that website, or not reviews, but sales, and they send like my payments to my bank account. They see I've been on this site for a long time. I haven't been able to list anything on there in like more than a year. I don't know how long, couple of years or something. Because they make you have a cell phone to verify your account. And when they first had the verification, then you could still do a lot of stuff. And then they just crack down more and more. And then it's like, oh, you can't send messages to people now. Well, now you can't list anything. This is ridiculous. Mercari, you're sued. McDonald's, you're sued. Panera, you're sued. Now, I might go in and they might deny me. I don't know. But maybe they won't. And maybe a lot of other people have a problem with this too. So right now, this is not a lie. I'm tired of being taken advantage of. And this is for everyone else too. Walking zombies staring at their phones. Getting brain cancer. Every business that gives discounts only to cell phone users, or every business that forces you to have a cell phone, I'm going to sue your fucking asses. I'm tired of this shit. All of you guys are going to... I'm going to be famous in the future because I love God. Everyone else that loves God is going to be famous in the future. And so, like, this stuff you do to us, not just me, other people that believe in God and try to be good, okay? You do to them, okay? We are going to be the new celebrities because we are good people. And you are going down because you are not good people. You are evil and wicked. You know those phones spy on us, they track us, they make us sick. It contributes to the walking zombies everywhere. So anyways, so it's pretty late, and I did not have a good day, so I'm a little I don't want to say rude, but I don't have as much patience today, or not even patience. I'm just gonna say how it is. I'm not gonna like watch my speech. I'm not like particularly happy right now. There was a lot of warfare used. A lot of it I didn't really care too much about. But later in the day, it was like kind of pissing me off. Like, cause I hear these things about last minute miracles. I got no last minute miracles. Zero last minute miracles. Nothing. What I got was like more annoyances and more trouble and more problems. And I said, I'm pissed off. Okay? And God didn't come down and tell me there would be a last minute miracle. It's all these videos, all these YouTubers, they make videos, they upload them to YouTube, and they say this stuff. And it's like, then I was thinking, like, they are lying, just like the prophets before, just like, you know, and the religious leaders before. They would get some truth, and then they would edit it, and they would put their own opinion and mix it in. They would take what they already believed and mix it with God's message. So some of them were false, but some of these were like probably real prophets, and they're not giving us the pure word of God. They're inventing stuff and mixing it, and then we hear lies, and I get pissed off. Like I said to God, I would be fine if I didn't keep hearing this, and then it didn't happen, so it looks like a lie. But God didn't tell me that. These people on YouTube did. Your channels, if you tell us certain things and it doesn't happen, then you are a liar. You are a lie. I seriously mean that. Like, I catch almost every single YouTube channel lies. Like, almost every single one lies. Because they mix lies in, and they don't say what is from God, and they don't say what's their own opinion. They don't say the message they got from God, and then they don't say, and this is stuff I already learned about in church. No, they get a message from God. This is what I believe. They get a short message from God, and then they make a 15-minute long video, and 14 minutes are theology and things that they already learned, that they didn't even really, research themselves. And then 1 minute of it is the prophecy, and it's mixed together. And this is how we get corrupt religion. So, unless God was directly speaking to you, yes, the churches are corrupt, synagogues, mosques, all of the religions have been infiltrated. Now, I believe they all stemmed from the Lord in the first place, but as time goes by, And then even with good intentions, each person speaking and, adding their 2 cents and their own personal stories, it just, mixes everything up and you end up with a lie. Like these prophecy channels, I keep hearing false doctrines, teachings of the Pharisees mixed in with a message they got from God. And you know what? If they just said, and this is my opinion, or this is the message from God, and then they differentiated so that you have a whole video. But then what did God just reveal to them? And then the rest of it is not. That's just them speaking. Okay? If they did that, it would be fine. But they don't. They mix it together. So we get lies, we get disappointed. And I want to say not disappointed, because, I hear about these last minute miracles. And then, I tell people, we're supposed to be restored, and it doesn't happen. And it makes me look like a liar. Because I said we're going to be restored. We will be restored. But it's because of these false prophets. The dates are, the dates are wrong. The date we're supposed to be restored. And they keep stretching it out like, oh, we're supposed to be restored last year. And then it's this year. Oh, now it's next year. Oh, and it might be in October next year. What the heck is this? How about, oh, you guys shut the fuck up because you're lying? And then when I hear that, then it like puts me in a bad mood when it doesn't happen. I know God will do it, but it's like I'm saying, if I didn't hear this and then it doesn't happen, then I wouldn't be pissed off right now. Just gonna say, there was a lot of fireworks going off. My dog was very unhappy. You can see that she's starting to relax now. She's in a little better mood. Okay, so it happened yesterday that I did not talk about. This isn't really much. It's just as I was walking by, I didn't look at addresses. But then, I just felt like looking at the address on this one house as I was walking home. So I walked back from this church, and I tried to go around where the train was. I took my time, so I probably, it was probably 3 miles or something to get back. And it was dark, and it was snowing, but then when I looked at this house, the address was 717. I think it was. It was like that, or something like that. I believe it was 717. And then today, when I was walking, I wasn't looking at the addresses on the house. But then just I walk past 100 houses, and then I look over, and then I look at this address. This one said 717. So I don't know the exact number of the one last night. I believe that was the same number. But today when I looked, it said 717 on this house. And then I walk, and then I'm getting to the downtown area because I'm walking to lunch. And then I see a local business, and it says it's been around since 1934. I add up those numbers, it's a 17. So, and that was a showroom for home stuff, like sinks and cabinets and stuff. So, maybe that is a sign. I don't know. Oh. Okay. So I started walking. I looked online to see how long it would tell me it takes to walk to the soup kitchen. I ended up, I left 50 minutes before it was time to eat. And I ended up getting there 20 minutes early. So it is a 40-minute walk. But I walk a little quickly. So maybe it would take a little longer. Yeah, I was trying to walk a little, not that fast, just, I could walk slower if I wanted to. And I got there 20 minutes early, and they had coffee. I went up, I didn't have a cup yet. I turned the tap, and some coffee came out. I'm like, yeah! And then I went to get some coffee. This was great. I was 20 minutes early. I was kind of taking my time then, and then I went to get some coffee. And then the man who volunteers there, who has tried to hit on me several times, he did not try to hit on me today. He comes out, he's got a box. And there's 6 containers that are fruit cups. So these are kind of they're that big. That big. And they're clear plastic with a lid on it. They came from probably a coffee shop or something. And they just have chopped fruit, and it's a pretty large serving, and it said it was $4.19. So this isn't cheap. So these got sent to the soup kitchen. Then he comes out before. This is before the lunch is served, and he has them, and he's like, do you want this? And I said, so I was going to get a coffee, and then he mentioned again, I know whenever somebody gives me something, it's cursed. I know. I know this. He had that, and someone else came up too, and actually, like, I wasn't thinking about it too much. But at this point, like, I figure everything's cursed, but I was going to take it anyways. He actually volunteers there and gives out food. So there was a chance that it wasn't cursed. Actually, I'm going to say, there was a chance that it wasn't cursed because he actually volunteers there and gives out food. So when he gave me food, I thought maybe this isn't cursed because this is his job, I guess. Or no, he's coming in to do this. And he gives this to other people too, not just me. This was different. This was before lunch and he had a box. And he came, and so then someone, and I said I was going to get a coffee, and I kind of started to walk away to not take the fruit cup. And then another woman comes in, or she was kind of nearby, and then she comes up, and then she goes to take one, and then I turn back, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take a pineapple. I said, there's no spoon, so you could eat it with your finger. But there's no spoon, or something. So then I got my coffee, and so I got the coffee, but the creamer that's normally out there is not there. So I say, there's no creamer. If you could get could we get a creamer? And so I've got my coffee in my cup. There's no creamer that I like to put in. I say, or milk. Do you have creamer or milk to put in this? So when I took that pineapple fruit cup, I was cursed again. Not surprised at all. None of their curses are anything that bad, but it really, it's annoying. And it just ruins my day a little bit. Not that much. This actually, ruined my day a little, but then not very much. And it was also funny. So maybe this one was worth it. So then he doesn't get it right away. And then I ask, and then I see him later, or I see someone else, and I ask again. Then finally they bring the creamer thing and sit it out there. It's like this bottle that they put, liquid creamer in. And normally people get coffee and they put a little in. This is what's there every day. And that's why I'm used to it. I normally would just have black coffee. But since they have this creamer, it does make it taste a little better. I don't know if it's milk, that's a little sweet or something. It's mainly just like milk, but it's in this bottle. It might just be milk for all I know. I don't know. But it does make the black coffee taste a little better. It's always there. So I'm used to putting a little bit of that in my cup. Just because every day if I get a coffee, it's right there. I put a little in, Makes it smoother. So anyways, finally the creamer comes out. Now I've had my cup of coffee for a few minutes. It's still hot. And I was excited. I go to put the creamer in. And then I notice the color is different. And it's a little chunky looking. Here was the curse. So the coffee was there. The coffee was waiting. I got the coffee. I was so happy, but there's no creamer. There should have been creamer because they actually serve coffee and donuts before the lunch. For some reason, the creamer was not out there when it usually is. It's always sitting out there. And so I put it in my cup, and then instead of just making it a light brown, then it was not as light as normal, and then there was looked like kind of chunky pieces in it, and then I'm like, this doesn't look right, but I still thought it'd be fine. I take a drink. Oh, it's gross, but most of my cup is still coffee. So if I got a styrofoam cup like this, it's mostly coffee and maybe this much creamer. Okay, maybe that much creamer. So I took a drink, but most of it was coffee. And it was sour. It was horrible. I'm like, I went to throw it away. And I went to get another cup. And so I had to throw that away. And then I told another person that I think this guy cleans the plates. He's always there. Maybe he's a paid employee. And I said, this is bad. Didn't really pay attention. I mentioned to somebody else and they didn't really care either. And then, and then I went to get another cup of coffee. There was a couple cups still left. I got a new cup. I went to get coffee. Now this time, the coffee was empty. But there was a little bit coming out. So this is what happened. This is where they tried to curse me. It wasted my cup of coffee. and it tasted horrible. It was disgusting. I had to throw it in the trash. There was no saving this. But then I went back to the coffee machine. There were still a couple cups left, and then like a little trickle comes out, and then I just stand there, and a little trickle, and slowly, over a couple minutes, it fills up my cup, and I get the very last cup of coffee. But actually, as I was doing that, so there's this one man who, it looks like he's always on drugs. He's always on drugs. And he's a black man, but he this is a funny thing, like, and I'm saying this so I know which one it is. I don't know his name. I don't know his name, and if I did, I would not say it in the video either. But he actually is, he's not like mean or aggressive or anything. But he does stuff to like they send him. I think they like hire him or pay him to come get me. And he doesn't really, like, he doesn't hate me, but he's doing that's what I'm saying. He's doing what he's paid to do. So someone is paying him, giving him money, and so, like, so anyways, what does he do now? Okay, this is what they do. It's silly. They're not allowed to do anything too bad. But anyways, I'm sitting there, and I'm holding the thing, and, like, a little trickle of coffee is coming out. It's taking its time. But I'm like, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I also don't want to taste that yucky sour flavor in my mouth. And so then he comes, he's right next to me, and there's like some water like on the floor. It's not that much. It's just a little bit. It's like a little bit of water on the floor. That's not why he came up, because it's not his job to clean the floor. And the floor wasn't very bad, actually. It was just like, I don't know. So he just was right next to me. So basically, here's the coffee machine, and then here's the water dispenser, like, right next to it, like a foot away. So, like, I guess some water had spilled, like, just a little bit. It wasn't even that much. And so then he had, like, a napkin or something. He was using his foot to wipe it up, which he doesn't do this. He doesn't care. But anyways, he was doing it right next to me. So he was doing it, and he was getting his foot, like, right next to my foot. Because he was trying to stop me from filling up my coffee cup, basically. Like, if he was cleaning, then I would get out of the way so he could clean there, and I would stop getting my coffee. That's what I mean. This is a silly thing. Like, they send him to get me. This is what he does. So they thought, they drained the machine. Like, when I went to get my coffee, it looked like there was plenty in there. I filled up my cup. But then when, and it was like a minute later, I'm like, I tasted, or not a minute later, once I got the creamer, then the machine was empty. And then that was so disgusting, I had to throw it away. So then, like, a tiny little trickle came out. It must have been 2 minutes to fill my cup, I don't know. But then he came over right next to me, and then he's going like this with his foot, like, with a napkin on the floor to clean up, like, where there's dampness on the floor. That he never cleans the floor. Okay, I don't know. I have never seen him do this before. I have never seen him clean the floor before. And actually, one of the volunteers or paid employees would do this. He's not. He's just an addict that comes to the soup kitchen that they send to get me. And so he was coming right next to me. He put his foot, like, right next to my foot. And then, like, I'm still filling my cup. He's just trying to get me to, like, to move over or to stop filling my coffee. That's all it is. He's not being mean or anything. And then I turn and I look at him and I said, you could wait till I'm done. And I just said, you could wait till I'm done. And then he had to stop. He's like, oh, and then he stops. Now, I don't know. Like, is he sent to do this, or the demons, like, if you're an addict, you have demons. Are they doing this, and he doesn't even know? I don't know. You know, maybe I should pray and ask, God, would you please inform me as to whether these people are doing it on purpose, or demons are working through them and they don't even know? I would like to know, honestly. I think they know what they're doing. But there are some cases where maybe people don't. I don't know. But anyways, he tried to stop me. I still got my coffee. Now, this was black. So this was my cup number 1 that I got. And okay, I wasn't done yet. So then, let's see. What happened next? What happened next? Oh, I think that they actually went to refill the coffee machine. They normally don't. But they went to refill it this day. And then there was another whole thing of coffee out. Like, so they, were trying to prevent me from getting coffee, but I got it anyways. So then another whole thing of coffee was made really quickly. So this is unusual. Normally there's like a half hour with no coffee, and then someone, puts another, that fills the coffee machine up and puts it back like a half hour later or something. This time, like, it was like a minute later. There it is again. Because they already got me. Like, I already had to throw away my cup, and it tasted bad. So they already got me. So then, I drained it, and I got a cup anyways. So then they just made a whole other thing of coffee. Good boy. And brought it out. So then this man who was wiping the floor next to me, I know who he is. He tried to he escorted me to the church before, and I think they said, I think they tried to have this one hit on me, but he didn't ask me out on a date or anything. But he said some things, he said some things that was like hitting on me. And so, but he probably saw it wasn't going to be successful, or, he was on drugs, so he wasn't that invested. So that's what I mean about counterfeit. Maybe a couple of them do like me, but most of them, they're just sent to do it, and they don't actually even care. So anyways, and he was there, and, cause they care about their fix. They don't, they don't even hate me, I don't think. They're just told to do it, and then they get $20 or something, I don't know. But anyways, so then he was there next to me, and a new thing of coffee just came, and they brought out a container that had milk in it, because that other creamer was bad, and like, or wait, they didn't do that yet. No, that's not what happened. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. So I drained that machine, and I got a cup of coffee, and then I was just kind of hanging out there for a minute, and then they brought a whole other thing of coffee right away. And so this man who was wiping the floor next to me, they send him to try to do little things and get me. Okay, well, nothing too bad. It's nothing too bad, but just, try to get me a little bit. And so then he was like right next to me, and he was going to get a coffee. They just refilled it. Now, that creamer that was rotten was still there. And some other person came up, and I said, oh, it's empty. I said, and someone else came up, and I said, that creamer, don't take the creamer, that's bad. I said, it's expired. It's expired. And so they didn't take it. Well, this man, who was wiping the floor right next to me, there was like maybe a cup left, or 2 cups or something. There was only a few cups left. And he got one. And I told him, that's expired. He didn't get coffee yet. Maybe they were about to get coffee. Or they just brought the coffee. So he didn't get coffee yet. And I told him, that creamer is expired. And so, but he's like right next to me. And he says, I'm going to just try it for myself. This is funny. Thank you, Lord, for this. This was the only good thing in my day, I guess. Well, my dogs they caused trouble when I was gone today. So actually, so then he gets a cup, and he has no coffee in his cup. He only pours like this much creamer in his cup. Like this much. It's just the rotten creamer. It's really sour. It's really gross. It almost tastes like vomit. It is so bad. Cause like my cup was mostly coffee, and then just a little bit of creamer, and it was horrible. Well, his cup was only creamer. I said that's expired. So don't drink that. You don't want to drink that. That's expired. And he's just right next to me. He says, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for myself. And then I'm tired, so that's why I'm laughing. I would be laughing anyways, but I'm laughing more. So he's like, I'm just gonna try it, and I'm gonna try it and see. I want to try it myself and see. This was hilarious. I think he knows that I tell the truth, but maybe he didn't. He was gonna see how expired it was, because like if it was just a little, maybe I'm thinking he thought like it's a little sour, but it's still okay, or it's a little off, but it's still gonna make the coffee taste better. Well, no, and then he puts some in his cup and takes a drink of just the creamer, and he's like, oh, I can't even remember. He's like, oh, just immediately. He's like, oh. It was so bad. It was so bad. It must have tasted like almost like if you had a cup of vomit. It was so bad. Like it must have been sitting out like all day, like since yesterday or something. I think they left it out and didn't put it away. And this was part of their little plan to get me. But yeah, it was. I had a drink of it and I was like, ugh, and I was like this, ugh, and I threw it away. And he's like, I'm gonna just try it. And then he took a drink and he's like, he's like, oh my god, this is horrible. He's like, oh. That was hilarious. I just said, don't want to drink that. He did. He found that. He found out. I'm sorry. You would have had to be there to see like how funny it was, because I had a drink of like, oh, and I threw it away. Okay, just like that. He had a drink, he's like, and he went to throw it away. So then I started laughing. And then they brought a new container of milk like a minute later. So then I put that in my coffee, and that's like the creamer. The creamer might just be milk, I don't know. But it sat out all day or something. It was horrible. Oh, it was gross. Maybe they had some milk that was like a month old. Like it was like that bad. Anyway, and then I put it in my cup, and I'm like, yeah, I got a good cup of coffee now. I was happy. I went to sit down and drink my coffee, and I looked around and I found a seat with no one sitting there. I did notice the kind of criminally guy was sitting like a table behind me, and he was probably like kind of sent to spy on me, as I figure. I was within his line of view. He wasn't right across from me, but he could see me. So, yeah, I got the pineapple thing. That would have cost $4.19 because I had the price on it still. So probably if it was like a little cafe or something had this, and it was from the day before or something, and then they donate it, and they get new ones for the next day. So anyways, there were some, like towards the back of the soup kitchen behind the kind of criminally man were some more people I didn't recognize. They were like newbies, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they had been there before, but I had never seen them, so I don't recognize them. I think they were new. Maybe they were involved in something. I don't know. Let's see here. So, they were also saying something which was funny to me. And in my head, when I heard him say it, I said, I rebuke it. You know, I just said, if this is a spell, I don't remember exactly what I said, but like I heard him saying this, it was kind of, I laughed, I smiled a little bit, I think, because what they said was funny. I wasn't trying to listen, but you couldn't help but overhear. There were like two more tables back and facing me, and I could just overhear some, because they were talking kind of loud. And, I think this is before the food was served, and there was like a woman and two guys, and they were like friends, and they were talking about this woman that smelled so bad, and like this woman with a bad smell, like, oh, bad smell. It says it smelled like feet, ass, and the guy was like, and poop. This was so. Is nasty. and then they said they smelled smells they had never smelled before. I can say that since I started going to the soup kitchen, I had smelled smells that I had not smelled before. Like if you have a baby and it, soils its diaper, that's a bad smell. That might smell just as bad. But the thing is, you don't let it sit in its diaper and then eat your dinner right next to that. Okay, that's what I was. Anyway, but they were talking, and what they said was funny. I thought this was funny. So that also, like, you know what, that did make me a little happy. So I still have the pineapple cup. It's in my fridge because the soup kitchen is closed for New Year's. So I'm going to eat that tomorrow. I already got cursed. Oh, I had to throw away my cup of coffee, and I tasted that disgusting creamer. But then I sat there for like 2 minutes, and I got another cup anyways. And I did ask him for more, and they kind of were ignoring me. This is like spiritual warfare, I think. So it's witchcraft, where they get distracted, or they don't really hear me, or something else happens and they got to take care of that. And so just when I mentioned the creamer, it doesn't happen. And then they mentioned again, like, oh, I forgot. So this is witchcraft. Now, either they're enemies or witchcraft is used to distract them, sidetrack them. So, let's see. So that was funny, but I said, just like in my mind, I'm thinking this might be a curse, might be a spell. So I did return it, like I did cancel it if this is a spell. I don't accept it. I don't accept this just because I think this is funny. I don't accept. I don't need any curses to make myself smell bad if that's what this is. But they were talking. I thought it was funny. It was funny. Then I did not go to the soup kitchen for lunch yesterday, but I saw the Bible verse that was on the board. And I think they had the same mini sermon today, because I believe it was the same Bible verse from yesterday, but I didn't hear the sermon. So maybe he did it again, and because I didn't hear it the time before. It could be like just for me. No, it's for other people. The message for them. Maybe he wants me to hear and he has a good message. And this is just, and I told him, you have good sermons. I said, now these are better than the churches. I told him. But this one, he was just telling people like not to steal and not to be angry. And then they made some jokes about it and people were laughing. And then people are just happy. So this, I believe, might have been the same sermon he did the day before, just because it had the same Bible verse, and I wasn't there. The sermon didn't have too much to do with the verse, but he normally gets when he has a new sermon, he gets a new verse. So it could have been, because I wasn't there yesterday, he redid the same one. I don't know. But it with the little joke and stuff, it was funny, and it's like, oh, I see something sitting here, and I got something free. And I don't remember what he said, but it was funny. And he said, don't do that, bring it to the office, and say somebody forgot this. And it just basic things he tells these people, and these are good messages. But he also said, like, act like you're going to face judgment tomorrow, like today is the last day. He said that. And this was a part of his sermon, but I also think this was marching orders. Now, I was not happy today, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I know what this means. Anyways, but I have never heard, I've been going here since like before Thanksgiving. I've never heard him say anything like this. So at first, I guess maybe he might have been involved in, doing some stuff that would cause me to not want to come back. But I didn't know. And then I'm just seeing, like, then I saw him actually give me curse stuff, and I saw it. So, and then, so I obviously got my eyes open, and I'm seeing what's going on. As I think that, because he mentioned how he picked up his cross and was following Jesus, and then he didn't want to look me in the eyes. So I think, and then he did later, because I wasn't upset. And then he said something like he liked my shirt. So it's like he was trying to make the peace later. It looked like it. But then today, he was encouraged them not to steal. People thought, like, his examples were funny. They were laughing. It was a good sermon. I liked it. And just telling people, like, just to, to not get, not to let themselves get too angry, or this makes, like, you're letting yourself get angry because of this. And it's like, act like today is your last day, or like you're going to face judgment tomorrow. Like, you never know. You never know when your last day is. I think, somebody could slip on the sidewalk, fall on the road, and be dead. And then and this is a message, but they also curse people with this too. And I said, and then while I heard him say that, I'm thinking in my head, I'm saying, like, cancel this, cancel any spells. Like, I'm doing this in my head as I hear it, because sometimes these are spells. Like before, like they mentioned, I fell, I broke my leg, and be careful. And they say this, they're actually casting spells. So just in case that's what this was, because it might have been, I canceled it. But it might have just been a funny example. Or it might have just been, this one wasn't funny. It just might have been a part of his sermon. But no, nothing's a coincidence. Anyways, I just cancel it though. I know when I hear things what a spell is. But I still have my pineapple fruit cup. And I will say another thing too, is that first cup of coffee got thrown away. They brought a whole new batch of coffee, really, and I still got the very last of it. It took me some time, but actually, with the time I was doing that, while I was filling my cup, then I saw the guy try to stop me, and it wasn't even like a big deal. He was just like trying to wipe the floor, like, here's my foot, and he's trying to wipe the floor right next to my foot so that I will scoot over and stop filling my cup. Like, I was like, you could wait. Oh, you should wait till I think I said, like, you can wait till I'm done. You can wait until I'm done. And then he's like, oh, and then he stopped. So that's why, like, it didn't even seem like he knew what was going on. I don't know. But then I was taking so long. Maybe that's when he went to get the creamer, because I was almost done filling my cup, or I just finished it. Then he was there. So because I was filling it up, I got to see this funny thing where I said, that's expired, don't drink that. And he's like, I'm just going to try it and see. And then, oh, hilarious. So that happened. And then I got 3 full cups of coffee, and they brought out fresh milk. I got more coffee. So they did this to me. I normally get 2, maybe 1 cup of coffee. Like, most days I get 2, some days I get 1. And like, there was a day or 2 I got no coffee. But most days I get 2. Occasionally I get 1. Sometimes there's none. This day, I got 3 cups of coffee. And this maybe only happened once or twice. Normally I only get like 2 or 1. I got 3 cups of coffee this day, to where I could have got more, and I was stuffed. I didn't. So I got more coffee. I still got the fruit cup, and I got to see this guy get to see him drink the expired creamer when I told him not to. That was instant karma. Because I can only imagine how horrible that would taste, because I had no coffee in it to dilute it. It was just all rotten milk, or whatever it was. So then they probably tried to, like, say, this is the last day, you're going to face judgment tomorrow, Maybe that's encouraging people to behave well, but then maybe that's casting a spell so that I fall. Like, casting a spell, you never know, you could just fall on the sidewalk and die, or fall in the road and die. And then I heard that, and in my mind, I canceled that. I said, if this is a spell, no, I didn't say if this is a spell, but, something like that, and I cancel it. And so that was canceled. If this is the last day, they were trying, but that was canceled. I still got the fruit cup. I got more coffee than normal. I got a good laugh. Oh, and the bikeman came in later, and he said, I got a tire for you. This was actually bad, but, at the time, I'm like, you got a tire? I'm like, oh, and he left it out front. There was a tire. He got one for me, and it was the right size for my bike. Now, it didn't work out, but I'll get to that in a bit. Anyways, so when I went to the recovery meeting, there's the man who, I don't know if he's a paid employee or if he's just a volunteer. He might actually be a paid employee at the soup kitchen, because he's always there. But he was actually, I think, without saying anything, because he did not say anything to me. But I think this was kind of like a roundabout way of hitting on me, as I said. Because it's the kingdom of darkness is trying to tie me down in a relationship. They are trying really hard. There's the point to where almost every day, if not every day, for like 2 weeks, they are sending a suitor. And they tried, they tried at the church too. So anyways, and so he didn't say anything to me. Okay, but the other people in the car were talking, and they said, oh, he's looking for a girlfriend, to a wife, to be the first time, because he was gay, and now he wants to be with a woman, and the first woman he's going to be with, he wants to marry. So then this is like thrown out there, like, this might be appealing to some people. So it's like, this is what they're working for the devil and trying to get me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't actually like me. They're just trying to stop me. That's what I'm saying. That's what a counterfeit is. But anyways, then there was a little love magic, and he split the drink. So when he got the drink and gave me, so he bought a drink. Had it put in 2 cups instead of one's too big, and gave me one of the cups. Then I could feel, and then he sat next to me, I could feel some of the love magic, but it wasn't that strong. Because that one time when I was in the church, there was a whole bunch of agents walking around and spying, and they had it ramped up to like 1,000. Okay, this time, it feels nice, but I know what love magic is. Okay, I know what it is, and he's not the. There are other ones that use this too. So it's not. They can mimic what like love feels like, but you'll notice like, oh, it wasn't here before. They give you something, and then here it is. And so it's there's potions and things, or like there's spells, or like when they give you something, then it comes with strings attached. So, anyways, let's see here. Well, he was there, and I actually saw him look at me. So, like, so it was like we didn't really talk or anything. I went through the line and got the lunch. So this was after the sermon. Then they do the short prayer. Then we go get our food. The food was good. They had like homemade ice cookies, and like the first time going through. So the curse was still active at this point, because as I was going through the line, just the way it was timed is that like when I was there and it was my turn to get a piece of meat. Like, this meat was so good. It was amazing. But when it was my turn, then it was like, it looked like a smaller piece of meat than most of them. It still had like a lot of fat on it. It was really delicious, but it just looked like a little smaller. So then, and then there was noodles next to it. And, I got the regular size of this, but then there was some like crispier, darker pieces in there. So like just a couple of the burnt pieces, like, so that's the serving I got, and they actually didn't taste good. They were hard, like hard noodles. You know what I mean? So my meat was maybe like a little smaller than it should have been, and some of the noodles were overcooked on my plate. This is what I mean. Like all of the witchcraft they do, and this is the result. But it was so delicious. The green beans were amazing. The food there was so good. That's why I was like asking. I went up for seconds later. They called seconds because they weren't having dinner today, and I mentioned, oh, that meat was real good. And I said, it's probably all gone, but it was real good. And it's like, yeah, it was gone. And the green beans too. The green beans and the meat were gone. But and they said, we don't have any more. I was wondering if someone could tell me how to make it, because it was good. It was really good. It was so good. I would have liked a larger piece, but that's okay, because I got enough, and it was delicious. It was very delicious. And if somebody came in later, they wouldn't have gotten any at all. And if someone did not go to the soup kitchen, they would have had none at all. Let's see here. So anyways, I'm just eating my food, and then I do see the kind of criminal guy, and he's just sitting there, so he could look at me, and he could overhear what I was saying. I also see who I think is a good person, who is undercover possibly there too, nearby, so possibly, I don't know this. This is just what I think. And that, I also see that person too. So maybe they are preventing other things that are possibly worse from happening, because they're not always there. And I've seen, it's a strange thing, like, is he undercover, or is he involved in what's going on and testing me? Because it's just something, like, it's interesting. Because he was also sitting next to the man the day, a different man, when he went to hit on me. He was sitting near him. So maybe he's involved, like, and this is some government thing. Like, there's you're MK Ultra. I don't think so, but I've seen enough that I would not disbelieve. Like, I've seen enough that I might believe it. I'm just gonna, but anyways, let's see here. Then, I had some leftovers, and then the day before, the mama cat, which is not her name, but I'm not gonna say her name, she's like, you guys need to start bringing in your own containers, and she got mad. So then today, I had one container left from, like, Thanksgiving in my fridge. Like, I already ate out of it, but I saved it. And so I put 2 bags around it, and I brought it. I'm like, okay, well, she didn't like that, so I'll bring it. And this day, like, they called seconds. I went up and I got seconds. And then, I had plenty to take. And I was going to eat more of it. But then I was up there getting more coffee. And then the man who takes the trays is like, you want me to take that? I'm like, oh, actually, I want to take this home. I was going to eat more, but then he went to get me a container. And I thought that Mama Cat was mad about that, so I wasn't going to ask for one. But I just didn't want him to throw it away. He comes back with a container, and then the other woman's like, wait, they have an even better one. They have one with a lid. So then I give him that one back. So actually, like, they were giving me two containers. So this was probably just witchcraft the day before to make her mad at me. That's what I'm serious. I mean this, spells cast. And so I got like a cottage cheese container or something, dumped my leftovers in. I was gonna like give some of that to the dogs, obviously. I don't have to, but I want them to be happy. Also, the seconds weren't as good. I'm just gonna say the seconds will kind of some of it tasted a little weird. So, but I got another cookie. I got a second cookie, and I think maybe more fruit or something. I can't remember, but I got plenty to bring home and some treats for my dogs to make them happy. So I got plenty of food, and then I had it sitting there, and I had my whole container of pineapples too. So I'm gonna eat the pineapples tomorrow. Maybe I'll give the leftovers from that, like the seconds, to the dogs, and then I had some stuff I brought home like 2 days ago, and I'll eat that tomorrow. So they were trying to get me, and this is when I saw the man with the long blonde hair. I saw him look at me. Okay, after something happened. So then I was eating and I was kind of stuffed. I'm like, I was kind of slowing down, and maybe this might have been before I don't know if this is before I put my leftovers in the container or after. Then a woman comes in. She's a cute woman, and she's fit and she looks nice. And she comes over and she's flirting with me. she's so then, and she's also using love magic. Love magic. So yes, this is witchcraft. Anyways, but she comes over. And she's like maybe saying hello to some people on the way. Then comes over and goes down the aisle. I'm like a few seats in, maybe 4 seats in or something. And then she comes across and looks at me and is like batting her eyes a little bit, and is like, are you doing anything for? Are you doing anything for for New Year's? And just it wasn't too obvious, but she was clearly hitting on me in a kind of subtle way, and she also was using some love magic, because I know what love magic feels like. This was about the same. So like when I got the drink the other day, it wasn't quite that much, but it was, I don't know, maybe like half that much. So so when the man who is gay who wants to get married to a woman now, okay, so and they mentioned this. He didn't ask me, but they mentioned this while I was in the car, and he sat next to me and was using the love magic. So I am not dumb. Okay, I have seen enough. They keep sending them, and if they ask me outright, I reject them. So they're trying to like woo me first, and then I'm rejecting it too. They are stumped. So anyways, then she comes and she's like, oh, are you doing anything? And then like I'm just answering her normally, and I look away a little bit because I can tell she's hitting on me, and she's using love magic. I look away a little bit, and then I look back and to just trying to deflate the situation, de-escalate. What is this? They send a woman because it's like I have not accepted any of the advances of the men. And she comes, like, a cute girl comes up and she's like, are you doing anything? And I said, no, not really. Are you doing anything? And then and she I don't know, she probably said, like, nothing or something. I don't remember. She didn't say anything in specific. It was just a random, like, generic response. And so, just the way, and I'm like, do you know if there's any free events in the town for New Year's? And I looked away, and then I looked, like, just so there wasn't any intense, I was kind of making it clear, like I'm talking to her and being nice, but I look away a little bit, just to let her know that, I'm not interested. And then she didn't know of any, and then talk a little bit, and then she leaves and goes down the next aisle. And then I looked back and I saw the man who gives out the food at the soup kitchen with the long blonde hair. I saw him looking at me. He was looking to see what happened. Because, see, I have not accepted any of these suitors. And so they sent the woman using a little bit of love magic. And he was watching to see, since I didn't accept the other ones. And he's nice, and I asked her, but I looked away a little bit. It's like if somebody's trying to hit on you and you're not interested, it's trying to look away a little bit, and then I looked, and then I continued talking, and then so anyways, I think, to me, what is obvious what happened is then she went back and said she's not gay, she's not a lesbian. But still, wow, this is the second girl. Now they've sent like 12 guys. They've sent 2 women or something. Maybe 10 guys and 2 women, or 12 guys and 2 women. But this is the second woman, and she was cute and like using the love magic, and I saw it. And I'm like, and then I just look away, and then I answer the question. She goes back. So anyways, she was volunteering today. She's not normally there. She's not a normal employee or anything. And I see him looking, and he's kind of looking like, he's kind of looking towards me, like to see what I did or what happened, kind of like maybe his mouth is opened a little bit, and I don't want to get it wrong. I'm trying to get it right. Like, I can see on the webcam, I've got my video editor open, so I'm trying to do like he was standing like with anticipation. I can't make this up. I'm not a writer. I'm not an author, so I can't make this up. He was standing there, like just watching to see what would happen. And then she goes back, tells him, oh, she's not a lesbian. Okay. And then like a few minutes later, I'm getting another coffee. This is my last cup of coffee. And I'm already feeling like I don't need it, but, I'm going to get my 3rd cup of coffee today. Soup kitchen's closed tomorrow, and this coffee being hot and stuff, you know what? It is better than my instant at home, I'm just going to say. Like, if I made it with really hot water, but I don't. I just use the tap, and then I put milk in it, so, because I'm lazy. Actually, I'm not lazy, but when it's just me, I got enough stuff to do. I'm not going to invest more time into my coffee. I just stopped doing that. I have more important things to do. But anyways, then he comes up and talks to me again. So then it was told to him that I'm not a lesbian. So then the man with the blonde hair, then he comes up to talk to me again. And he's like, oh, he came to invite me to another recovery meeting today, this evening. He came to invite me to another one. So I did not accept her advances. And so then he came again and invited me. And I said, I said, maybe, do you think I could be home by 8? You think I could be home by 8? I've got an appointment thing. He said, oh, no, you probably could. I would have went. But then I was supposed to have, remember with Mercari, I scheduled an appointment they were supposed to call me back so I could tell them, we need to be able to use this account without a cell phone. I was going to tell him that. They scheduled an appointment. I was supposed to get a phone call, and they were going to talk to me. Well, they scheduled it, and they didn't call. But anyways, I still had this appointment scheduled, and because of that, I did not go to the recovery meeting. I'm like, well, do you think I could be home by 8? And he's like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, I said, well, shoot, because I had this appointment, and I know it's just a customer service thing, but if I don't get a hold of him now, I never will. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I understand. And so then I didn't go. So then he was trying to invite me to this again. I would have went. They're kind of fun. I got to make some art and craft projects. So anyways, when she was not able to successfully hit on me, then he came, and he was looking at me, and he was almost and talking to me, and I'm like, and I had a good time with you guys, yeah. I said, oh, and it was fun when you invited me to the meetings. And then he's like looking at me, and he's like kind of, he's not pushing himself, and he's not saying anything like a date, but clearly I understand that that's kind of the angle. But then he like come over and is like gonna invite you and like, oh, I understand, just being real nice. But then he also just looked like he's kind of confused. He's kind of confused because none of the men have been able to go on a date with me. And this woman, and clearly if I was a lesbian, this would be a good woman to go on a date with. She looks better than many of the men. Like, her as a woman, like, she's a better female candidate than most of the men are better. So the men, she's a higher caliber woman, probably, at least looks-wise, and, like, being able to speak than a lot of the men they sent. If they're on drugs or, or they're 80 years old or they're way too young or there's something that has nothing to do with it actually. If they actually liked me, then several of them are fine. Would have been fine. I'm just saying, like, she was like, would be a more desirable date. But I'm not gay. So I'm saying they brought her in. She's not normally there, and then and he's looking at me. He's just kind of confused, like, like, what do you like? Like, if they could just get the right one in there, then I would accept it. But I won't. Because I'm not allowed. That's what I mean. If I was allowed to just date whoever I wanted, I probably would have went out with several. But they're all trying to get me. So, as I said, it would have destroyed my life, probably. They're all probably trying to get me. Trying to get me. Once you're in a relationship, then they can put poisons in your food again. And they can steal your light. Now, I don't know about that too much. They put poisons and use witchcraft and stuff. And then you agree to certain things when you choose to be in a relationship with them. So, let's see here. So then anyways, on the way out, like, the bike mate had a tire, and then he's leaving, and I'm getting ready to leave. We're walking out separately, but at the same time. So this is like, there's certain clues that make me think he's an angel, even though he doesn't look like an angel. There's certain clues that make me think he is, but and he was talking to somebody else this day, and talking to another guy, and not talking to me too much, and kind of keep it like, not so he's not just there for me, even though when he first showed up, it looked like he was, because for the bike. And you see, like, the military is suppressing him, the military is controlling, there's, like, doing stuff, and and they're sending you to me. I said, because I went to sign up for the National Guard, and then they were spying on me. You think the military did this to you? Oh, here you are. Anyways, he said he thought, he was told he worked for Jesus. Okay, cool. Anyways, I said, like, you can do this magic and stuff, and your eye is magic, or so your eye turns gold, and you can do magic, like running acid down the street. Okay, I said, I've seen enough that that's just as likely as you lying to me. Either one is just as likely. I would believe either, but I need to see it. I need to see. Anyways, so then we were leaving at the same time, and then the tire was out there. The tire was out there, and then like, I go to get the tire, talking a little bit, and then the criminal guy comes out to spy. So remember, the door of the soup kitchen, there's steps that go down, and you can stand at the top, and there's an awning over it. He was standing there and listening. So then, and like, we're kind of standing by the bike rack, because he put the tire there. Like, the whole wheel. He had a whole wheel. It was just sitting over there on the bike rack, not even hooked up or anything. And of course, why would it be? Because no one, if you're going to ride a bike, then you can't hold it, And if you don't have a bike, you don't need it. But, so I guess it was probably protected too. Anyways, if he's not targeted. So then we're talking just a little bit, and I thought he said he would help me fix my bike. And then he just brought a tire and wanted me to do it myself. I'm like, oh no. And anyways, of course I would like to do it myself, but nothing is ever simple. Nothing. It's like there's always problems and trouble and unforeseen things that happen, and it's never just an easy fix. And this wasn't either. It's still not fixed. Anyways, but this is clearly part of God's plan for my life. Anyways. And then when the criminal guy comes out, we were just kind of talking, like, and then he starts changing. When he comes out, he immediately changes what he's talking about. And then he starts, like, complaining about some guy said he was going to hit him over the head. And, like, he starts talking like this. Like, he's just talking about, like, somebody wanting to fight him or something. So then he starts, like, we are talking, and then he changes what he's talking to as the criminal comes out to spy. So then he starts talking, and it's so believable. It's so believable. He just sounds like a normal person trying to, just talking shit at the soup kitchen. Just instantly change, like he's talking to something else, then, just rolls right into a different conversation as the criminal comes to spy. And then, like, I understand what's going on. So then I don't say, well, what are you doing? I don't talk about anything else. Like, I don't give away any more information. I know this is a spy here. But I did say, I've never done it, a tire, like, I tried to change the guitar strings, and I broke that. It's like, because I never did it before. Looking at the YouTube video, it doesn't make any sense. And so then, the spy is up there listening. And so the bikeman, he says, what are you, Virgin Mary or something? He teases me, calling me Virgin Mary. And he's like, what, you want me to do it for you? You sound like Virgin Mary. I think that's what he said. You sound like Virgin Mary. Because obviously my anointing is not Virgin Mary. So he was trying to, like kind of tease, insult, like, in a way, like, this criminal was listening. The criminal was listening and overhearing. So he didn't want to seem like he was an angel. He doesn't want to seem like he's too intelligent. He doesn't want to seem like he wants to help me out too much. It just wants to seem like, here's a guy, and he had a tire and brought it. And then he also, like, kind of teased and insulted me a little bit and then left. So there was a spy, too. There's many reasons. So there's many reasons he did what he did. First of all, God would not have allowed him to just fix it, because my life can't be easy. I'm not allowed to just have things fixed. No, everything has to be very annoying and obnoxious and not be fixed and just get worse. That's what has to happen. So anyways, so he wasn't going to fix it. First of all, he brought the tire. The tire was important with what happened today. He wasn't going to fix it, though. And he also, like, when I said, like, and I look at these YouTube videos, and I never done it before, it doesn't make sense. And so then he like, teased me and said, you sound like the Virgin Mary. Because I'm not supposed to be the Virgin Mary. But he said that. And then started to kind of walk away a little bit. It's like, what, do you want me to do it for you? I'm like, no. No. Nope. I looked at him like, yeah, I understand what he was saying, because I'm supposed to do things myself. That's great, I want to. But it would have been nice for somebody in my life to show me how to do it. Like, because it's always going to have problems, and it's not going to work. Like, seriously. And it didn't. But anyways, then the criminal kind of overhears. Then the criminal's not going to report back that this guy is helping me, and he is, like, really cares about me. This one is not hitting on me. So I'm saying, this one is not hitting on me. Okay? Actually, and I said that, like, when he said he would want to help, and I said, you see, you're a man, and I'm a woman, and I'm single, but I'm not available. And he was like, and he understood that and didn't have a problem with that. Okay, so this one is not hitting on me, which means he's not working for the kingdom of darkness. Anyways, so that was, I think, part of his cover. But also, like, I have to do stuff. I can't have people do things for me. But also, God stops me from getting things fixed, so I can't fix it myself either. And then, like, I'm heading out, and then I'm like, yeah, I understand the laws of the universe, as everything has to be annoying. Or I said, it took me an hour to figure out how to put on my bike basket. Like, I put, like, the rack over the tire in the back, and then I put a basket on that. And it's like, it wasn't easy, because then I got to put different parts from 2 different racks together and get it to line up on my vintage bike, and it did take a while, and it was obnoxious. And then this is worse. And anyways, so then I start walking, and I actually have, like, a new coat. I wore it a couple days, actually, but it was a new coat I had got on Temu last year. And it's warmer, but I normally don't wear it because it's long, and you can't wear it on a bicycle. But since I'm walking, then I could wear this nice coat. So then I have my nice new coat on, And then he brings a used tire that's got like some mud, or he's got probably got some grease and it had some leaves on it. So then it can't touch my coat, which makes this more obnoxious. It could, but then it would stain my new coat. I got a new coat, and I didn't wear it because I've been on a bike. But since I was walking, I was wearing this coat that was like in mint condition. And then I got a dirty tire. And anyways, so then I sit it down, put on my glove, and I'm holding it. And with the glove on, it's not a it's not as ergonomic. It's just a little uncomfortable to hold it in my hand, and then I'm kind of holding it out a little bit so it doesn't touch my jacket, and then I hold it up sometimes. And it's not like heavy, but I don't want it to touch my coat, so it just it makes it harder to carry. Because if I could just lean it against myself, it would have been easy. Then it would have stained my new coat. And this is a light colored coat. I didn't know he was going to bring an entire tire. It was dirty. Anyways, and then he sits it there. And it's too cold to not wear gloves. It would have been easier to hold it without gloves, but it was too cold. It was maybe 20 degrees or something. I don't know, but it was cold, and I needed my gloves. This is a 1.5 mile walk to my house. And so I just start walking. I actually stop at the bank, which I meant to go to yesterday. And then I've got the tire too. And I just keep walking. Just kind of obnoxious to hold it. And then I get back. And then I'm kind of like, I watch a YouTube video real quick about how to replace a tire. I'm like, okay. And then I go out to do it. And then I got to come in first of all because I watched it once and it was showing taking off, opening the brake pads up so the tire would fit through. And then it just went real quick, and it had 3 or 4 different types of brakes. And so then I went and then I looked at it and I wasn't really sure. And then I had to come back in again. And my hands are a little greasy at this point now, just touching a few things. Then I look at the video again. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I see it's really easy to do. So then I go out and I get that. But then the rest of it was a problem. Okay, the whole thing is greasy. It's got oil on it. It's dirty. And so my hands are black, like a grease monkey. And that's okay if it was fixed, but it's not fixed. And I wash my hands a whole bunch, and they're still black. So they're still a little black. I washed them a lot. They're still not completely clean. But let's see. Just getting the tire off, and I have a bike basket too, which makes it heavy, and my kickstand, there's something wrong with it, it's missing a screw on the bottom. It's not original, and it's not a great kickstand, so it doesn't hold my bike up too well. And I have a basket too, and then the rack, and it's just kind of getting in the way a little bit. And trying to hold this up and get the tire out, and it's all greasy and dirty. Okay, I get the tire out. I managed to do it. I had to lift the bike, move it a little bit. My hands are greasy, so I'm trying not to touch it too much. So already this is a huge pain in the ass. But then I managed to get the tire off, and it's not too difficult. It's just it's cold outside. It's really dirty. I've never done this before, and there's different pieces and stuff. And then I've got a rear rack, and I got a basket in the way, which I'm not going to take those off. That was a nightmare to put on. And anyways, now I get it off. And now I've got to take the axle apart because I have this other tire. I was thinking I was going to put the new tire on. I was going to put the other tire on. But that's not what happened. So basically, I get this, I have my tire it's got a flat tire in the back. I take my tire off, then I'm trying to take off the axle and the gears to put on the good tire. And so I get it all stripped down except for the gears won't come off. And I try several different things. It's not coming. I don't want to pry it off and break it. That's not good. So I figure there's some type of trick, or maybe I won't be able to. So then I wipe some of the grease off, go back in the house, and my hands are kind of dirty, but I still use my computer anyways. And I look it up online, and it turns out you need a tool, some specialty tool. to get this off that I don't have. Like, apparently it only tightens one way, and you need to put a tool in there to be able to loosen it. Um, I'm sure there's a reason for this, so that it doesn't loosen while you're cycling. Anyways, you can't remove it without a special tool, or maybe like you could price somebody. Okay, anyways. So then I can't get this off. I'm like, oh shoot. And then it is New Year's Eve. The bike store is closed. I actually tried to call them. It went straight to an answering machine. I tried to call them again. Nothing. Or it said no message has been set up for this number. No one was answering. They were closed. And I thought, I'll call. I've got Advanced Auto Parts, like real close to my house, a couple blocks, 3 blocks or so away. I'll call them. I call them on the phone. And then the guy's like, oh yeah, I had a bike. He said we might have something. And he said he had something like that with his bike. And to just bring the tire in. And they might be able, like, and just call, ask for the person with this name. And they're like, okay, I'll be there. I said, I'm a few blocks away. I said, like, a couple blocks away, I'll be there. And so I grabbed the tire that has got the gears on it. I'm hoping I can get these gears off and put them on the good tire. And then I walk the tire down there, go into Advanced Auto Parts, and then the guy looks at it, he touches it, and he's like, oh, this needs a tool we don't have. And so, how about your tire? How about your tire? Because he said to ask for Dakota. And I go in and then he sees me and he was the one I spoke to on the phone. He told me to bring in the tire. And then I hand him my tire, maybe there's a tool or something. I asked several questions just to make sure that there's any way. And then he just looks at it and he like touches it and he said, I tried to put a tool in here and then I tried to turn it and like I said, did that work? I think I said, did that work? And he's like, no, I had to buy a new bike. No, I had to buy a new bike. Here, it sounded like if I brought it in, he would be able to get it off. Maybe even without having to buy a tool. And I didn't have socket wrenches. Like, do you have a tool? And he looked at it. And he said, I thought, like, I tried to jam something in there and then turn it. And it said, did that work? He said, no, I had to buy a new bike. So he told me to bring the tire in, and then absolutely nothing happened. I'm like, okay, have a good day. I walked down there and kind of slipped a little bit, and I have a tire in my hand, and my hands are greasy. I'm sure half of the town has seen me. It's another humiliation ritual. They see me walking 1.5 miles down the road with my tire, holding it out. Then I'm back at home. I try to get it off. Or I get the tire off, I try to get the gears off, then I gotta walk like 3 blocks down. It's snowing, it's cold, it's like 20 degrees or something. And then they see me walking there with the tire, they see me walking back home with the tire and grease all over my hands. This is a humiliation ritual. Anyways, as I'm walking back, then I pass this house right across from the bar. And I look, and I see a tent. Actually, I see the woman from the soup kitchen there, the one that's on drugs. I see a woman, and she actually was on the bus that I was on a couple days ago. When it was the 1070, the 17 bus line, I think she was on there. She was getting off at my stop. Here, I see this woman there as I'm walking back from Advanced Auto Parts to my house. She is staying like a block or a block and a half from where I live. But anyways, she's standing out in front. So anyways, I start walking and I see this house there. And they have bike parts right on the front porch. There was like 3 bike rims right there outside. I'm like, what? What? There's just bike rims? And this is a stranger's house. I have no idea who this is. And I see those bike rims and I'm like, I need to get my bike. I see there's bike rims on this house. And then I look and I see there's a tent in the backyard. There are people living in the backyard in a tent. And here's the woman from the soup kitchen. And then she sees me holding my tire. And then I'm looking there and I'm like, I want to go knock on this stranger's door. And then she's like, yeah, go knock on the door. There's people in there. So apparently this is where you go in town to get your bike fixed. So anyways, like, and she said, yeah, go knock on the door. There's people in there. And I knock on it several times. And then, and I kind of start to leave. It's like, there's people in there, And then finally, the guy comes to the door. So it probably took him a minute. to just get to the door. Maybe he was asleep. I don't know. Maybe because he came to the door, his eyes were red. So I think he was maybe marijuana or doing some type of drug. But I don't know. But anyways, he was so helpful. Like really, there was a big tent in the backyard, and then here's the woman from the soup kitchen, and then here's the bike rims right on the deck. And then he comes out, and I said, I have my tire, and I'm like, I live by myself, and I just like and I saw the tires there, like he worked on bikes, and I'm like, you know. He said, you just need a tube, 26 inch. I'm like, yeah. and then he said, it'll be about 5 minutes. And then he comes back out, and he's got my tire perfectly fixed, like with a new inner tube, and it's inflated just right. And so I got $5. Is there something else that, and is there something else that you guys need? So I told him before I don't really have money, but so I got $5. Is there anything else you need? And he just took this, like, this will be good. It's just a good tube. So that's a good tube in there, and $5 will be fine. I was gonna give him something else because I felt like I should give him more than that, but I just got this $5 from the bingo game, and so then I gave it to him, and he gave me the time. He's like, we're good. Like, here's this man, living like a block from my house, and then he just came out and he helped. He was so helpful, and I gave him $5. And he's like, that's good. We're good. I mean, he might not have even taken any money at all. I don't know, but I knew because the bike man told me, oh, the inner tube thing is like $5. So then I had the $5. I just got the $5, and I knew I had to offer this $5. I needed to give him the $5. No, and the other woman there was like, you're paying him? I was, yeah. She's just making sure. Like, I don't know, because like I think he needs to be paid to do his work. I said, yeah. And so I gave him the $5 to do the tire. But yeah, he was just nice. He just came and did it. I don't even know if he would have asked for money. It was only right to give him money. But like I just basically had $6 because I had another dollar which I think I was gonna use for bus fare, or I was gonna give at the church service. So I have a dollar bill for that. But it actually looked better to just give the 5 than the 6. I'm just gonna say. Anyway, good boy. So that was great. Then I get back, and now instead of taking the gears off, this tire is fixed. So then I still have the tire the bike man gave me is not going to be used at all now. But I would not have taken my own tire off if the bike man didn't give me a tire. So he had to give me a tire. I carry it home. And then that got me to remove my tire. Then I call, the bike store is closed. Advanced Auto Parts says, bring it in. They don't do anything. Then I'm carrying the bike tire and I'm walking past. I walk past the woman from the soup kitchen. She's staying at the house with the bike parts on the porch. Just go knock on the door. And then he comes out and fixes the tire. And I'm like, okay, great. Now, I've unscrewed it, and I left the screws and, like, the nuts and things. I thought they're in the right order, but it's a little confusing. They said, take a picture first. Yeah, that wouldn't help. I'm just going to say. Take a picture first. Well, I don't have a cell phone. I could have got my camera, I know. But what I did instead was just sit the pieces in the order that they came off. And I thought, like, because the bike man gave me another tire. It only had 2 screws on it. It was very easy to disassemble. And I could have put that back on. But not my original tire from 97. No, this has a whole bunch of different stuff on it. I thought I wasn't going to use it. And I was going to use the one he got me, which only had 2 things. I couldn't mess it up. But no. Now, instead, I'm using my original tire again. And then I had the pieces. I'm like, okay, I can figure this out. No, I couldn't figure it out. And I try to screw it, and I'm like holding up my bike. The kickstand is not very good. It's trying to fall over. I got a bike basket in the way. I got grease on my hands. I'm trying not to get everything too nasty. I'm trying to lift it up, and then I got the gears kind of on, and then I go to put the bike on, and then I miss something. I'm like, oh, I go to put the tire on, and then I missed some of the axle rod. And so then I take it off again, and then I put more pieces on, but I can't put them on all the way without putting it mostly on. And it's just a big pain in the butt. And then somehow, it's just not going on now. Like, now it's just not right. Because, like, there's these, like, crescent-shaped things on the bike frame. And then, before, like, the tire just goes right up and it fits. Now, I don't know what I did. Because now it doesn't. Now the nuts I screwed on are bigger than the openings on my bike frame. So I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And I tried to, and to get these pieces off, like I was trying to get the gears off, so I removed more pieces than I needed to, because I was going to use the other tire. And now it might require a socket wrench to tighten it down all the way, but that probably won't even fix it. So now it's like I don't know where the nuts are supposed to go and the other things. I don't know exactly where they're supposed to go, because it looks like then the bike frame would just rest down on top of it, but then how does it stay in place without the wheel falling off? So then I tried it. I'm like, oh no. And I asked God to help, but I did ask God to help me many times, actually. But it still wasn't fixed. Now, I got the tire together, but it's not tightened down all the way. And then when I put it up into the frame, then it doesn't fit. Like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I think I even put the pieces on in the right order. It's just I didn't screw them on right. I don't know where exactly the frame's supposed to go. And this frame is oily and greasy and it's old. It's if it's from 97, then this is an old bike and it's not been serviced in all that time. I can tell. You know, it's just gunky and dirty and then I start to then I'm like, what do I do? I'm like thinking, I tried to do it myself, and it was not successful. I do not have socket wrenches. That might not even fix it, because I just don't understand. Because I've never done this before. I wanted someone to show me. Because, like, where the bike rests down in between the nuts or something, I don't know. But then I start to walk, like, down my block a little bit. 2 houses down is a neighbor who I've spoken to before. I don't speak to him too a lot. And I said, hey, he's doing something to a car door. I said, hey, and I told him, I took off my bike tire, I can't get it back on. And he said, and then he said, he was doing something with a car door, and he's like, oh, just give me 10 minutes and I'll be there to fix it. I said, you know where my garage is? Like, yeah, because he actually helped put up the privacy fence. And I'm like, okay, so then I said, I'll go back to my house. I go back to my house, and then, you know, like 10 minutes passes. Then I come back out and I'm walking around. I kind of go around the property a couple times. 10 more minutes pass. I noticed there's a place I wanted to go to the gym again before they're going to be closed, and I wanted to go again. And I wasn't even going to have time to walk, like, because he said he'd be there in 10 minutes, and so then I wait like a half hour. Actually, I go knock on his door, because I thought maybe he's in there. I normally don't knock on the door. I knock on the door, and there's 2 women there, and there's, like, dogs and maybe children there. And so I don't know what kind of situation this is, but anyways, and I said, you know, is this guy there? I said his name. And they said, oh, no, I think he left or something. I'm like, oh, and then I said, could you let him know that I'm not gonna be home, that I'm leaving. And they're like, oh yeah, and then they didn't tell him, apparently, or it was lost somehow. So he was supposed to be at my house in 10 minutes. He doesn't have to do anything. I don't really ask him to do it, but I really needed my bike running. So this is God blocking it, I'm sure. But then, like, there was someone else, and maybe he left and came back, I don't know. But he said 10 minutes, and then I'm realizing this is New Year's Eve. Like, stuff is closing. I don't have much time. And so I waited, and it was like I'm getting concerned because he said 10 minutes. I think I'm getting stood up here. And so I go knock on his door, and they said he's not home, and he's left. And I'm like, okay, if I don't leave, like, now, then I'm not going to be able to even make it to the gym before it closes. So, so then I'm like not happy about this. I know God's controlling this. God's controlling everything. But he said 10 minutes. It was a half hour. I'm like, I gotta go now. It's New Year's Eve. They're gonna be closed. So then I just start walking. Because I'm thinking, like, maybe I'm not allowed to have a bike today, and maybe I'm supposed to walk. Maybe I'll have a miracle. Like, I'm thinking also, like, if I just stay in my house, a miracle is probably not gonna happen. But if I walk, and I didn't think about this right now. I have before. Like if I go out and interact with people, maybe a miracle will happen. If I sit in my house, I don't know. So this is not why tonight. I actually did want to go to the gym. I didn't go the day before. I wanted to go use some massage chairs and just use a spa area. But anyways, let's see. So I waited a half hour, and then I knock on his door. Some women, I think this is his door. That's the yard that he's in. The women I don't know were there. They said he left. I'm like, oh, okay. So I figured that he stood me up. He's not coming back. The women in the house said he had left and was not coming back. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to make it to the gym unless I leave now. So I left. So I walked there, and I didn't get to use it as much as I wanted to, because they actually shut down their massage chairs early. And so, and like the manager there, the one woman was like, we'll see if we can let you, and she's nice, and she asked the manager. And the manager, I didn't like him. I didn't like him. And it's not that, like, because this is a reasonable policy, but just the way he talked, kind of like a guy that likes football and doesn't care about other people. That's just kind of the impression, like, God shows me, God allows me to discern the spirit. And so she said she was going to ask and see if it was okay. And then I came out, I just used this hydro massage. I come out and said, can I use this again? And then he kind of mumbles something, and I'm like, can I use it? And then he's like, oh, the computer shut down, all that stuff shut down because we're going to close it, in 15 minutes. And and then he didn't care. He just kind of said that. He just seemed kind of like a sports guy. He's the manager, and he's kind of young, but still, like, has the authority there. And then there's, like, women there, and there's him, and he's calling the shots. He just, like, I didn't like his personality. Like, he could have been more polite, or, like, considerate, or say, or just like, oh, I'm sorry, but we had to turn him off because we're going to close. No, it was just like, he said it kind of quiet. I couldn't really hear, and it was like he didn't care. It was like, oh, the computer's off, or it wasn't polite, and I didn't like it. And so then I answered, like, because normally I'm so sweet and kind to these people. I'm like, oh, thank you, like this all the time to them. Well, this guy, people have been shitting on me, and then I was walking around carrying a tire for like an hour, and then I didn't get it fixed, and then it's like somebody just lied to me, and then I didn't get to use the massage chair as much, and like I'm not like screaming and I'm not crying, but then like I just wasn't gonna have this. It wasn't disrespect, but it was a lack of respect. And when I saw that, and he said, we shut that down. I said, you want to put that on your card, because your card over there says that you're closed at 7. You want to put that on. He's like, excuse me, or what? And so when I said this, he didn't expect me to say anything back. So you can call this a Karen. I wasn't being a Karen. I'm not a Karen. People fuck me, and I have boundaries now. That's not being a Karen. It's just like the whole world tries to get me. And I might have just, like, tried to rationalize it away and explain away, like, oh, it might have just been, they didn't mean it. No. So when he was like, oh, the computers are down, we got the computers turned off, and he didn't care. I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was like I'm like really sweet and nice to these people, and this time, and then there's like 2 or 3 women employees there standing right next to him, and they look at me and they're watching me, because they did not. I don't think they expected this, not from me, but from anyone. They did not expect this. I said, you might want to put that on that card, because it says you close at 7 o'clock. You might want to put that on that card there. And he's like, what? He's like, what? Or what was that, or something? Or like, what was that? And I said, might want to put that on that card there, because it says you close at 7 o'clock. I like turned real serious. I got like the wolf. I'm like, put that on the card there, because that says that you're closed at 7. I just got really serious. And then the women are watching. They probably did not expect that. Like I didn't blow anyone out of the water. I'm just saying, like, I'm normally like so sweet and considerate, and like, and they say something, I'm like, oh, okay. This time, I was like, you might want to put that. You might want to put that on your sign. The sign says you. I was like, I was not putting up with anybody's crap anymore. I had 15 minutes till they closed. I had time to go sit in the massage chair before they closed, but they turned it off early. And so, like, when he said that, just the way he said it, like he didn't care. I'm like, I say, put that on your sign so people know. And like another guy went to use like something else, and they don't know because maybe they should have considered. Oh, we're gonna shut these services down early. We've got a sign. Maybe we should put that on this sign instead of just when the gym closes. It's not, this whole thing, it was reasonable. It wasn't unreasonable for them to do that. But I was not respected. And it was like he didn't care. He was just like, like he could give two shits less. And so that was it, and I told him, maybe he will consider it next time they will put, like, oh, the equipment is shut down, like, 15 minutes early or a half hour early. I don't know. But, like, I'm kind of like, I don't, it's not a Karen. I'm kind of proud of like how I handled that because I stood up for myself. I didn't jump over and I didn't freak out. I didn't cuss at anybody. I was just very serious. Like, to this man who was not used to being told what to do, I told him right to his, and he was like, what? And then I repeated when he said, what was that? He was probably expecting me to shy away and to not say anything. And I repeated myself again. As you might want to put that on the sign because it says you close at 7. I said it again. And then I had power in my voice. And now it doesn't sound that way. But there it did. There it did. So here's this man, probably didn't have people tell him what to do. He didn't care. And he's the manager telling these women what to do. And they're standing there watching. And then I've got the power and I tell him. And so then maybe this was a good thing. I don't know. But then they're all happy. It's like, it is such a little thing. But when people try to disrespect me or they don't care, then like that's it. I'm not having it. Like this man, he tried to stop me from getting my coffee by cleaning the floor like right next to me. I said, you can wait till I'm done. And so then when I got to the gym, it was round 2. I said, you should put that on your sign. It's like, no. You should fucking brain people. The world sucks because of people like you. Anyways, I am sorry. I'm sorry. This is just how I have been today. There was a lot of spiritual warfare used. Let's see what else happened here. And so then, like, I'm just not in a good mood. Just like, I'm not like crying. I'm just not in a good mood. Cause like I was really hoping I could get my bike fixed, but after all the effort I went through and trying to fix it, and my hands got messy, and I used my $5 bill that I just got. Like, it still wasn't fixed. Then I had to walk to the gym, and then, like, they just didn't, like, I didn't care, and then it's like, I'm not restored, and like, oh, and I still thought in my head, maybe there's a miracle somehow, like, something will happen. No miracle, nothing. It was a lie from these false prophets, or the people that get information from God and mix it with their own opinions. That's what most of them, almost every YouTube channel, it's not a prophet. Well, they're prophets, but they mishandle the information God gives them, and that's how we get in the situation we are now, where all the religions are wrong. They're all wrong because people mix their personal opinions, their political beliefs, and how they want to live, and their stereotypes, they mix it with the information God gave them. And then everything is wrong. So, anyways, this is like what the YouTube channels do. They lie. They have truth, but then they mix it. And they don't say what's from God and what's not. Well, most of it's not. Let's see. What is this crap? So, I'm just like heading home and like not in a good mood. And, I did see some little firework going off as I'm heading back. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Lord. I thank God for that. I did. That was good. Thank you that I'm still alive, Lord. Let's see what is going on here. Also, when I was at the gym, I only looked at the clock once. And when I did, the numbers on the clock added up to a 7. Like, if you add up all the numbers and then you add up the digits until they're 1, it was a 7. That's what I mean. Like, I wasn't looking at it at all. I look at it and then it's a 7. And I thought in my head, I'm going to remember these numbers and then, like, try to add them up. And then, like, yeah, they were a 7. And then, like, just when I happened to look and I'm like, I want to look at this address, it was a 717. I was like, so that is a sign. I understand. I'm not trying to be, like, I'm not trying to be a greedy, spoiled child. It's just like nothing good. And I said like I wouldn't be unhappy about this, except for like these YouTube channels and things keep saying, and then it falls through, and so that they were lying to us apparently, because God's not a liar. They must have been lying about the time. Um, oh, let's see what else happened here. I've got some more things that I might not have covered here. Um, so just like when I was at the soup kitchen, then who I think is a good person was mentioning like helping somebody, and that they mentioned that too. It's like another sign, but they also seem like more coherent and cognizant. Um, then I heard the song like 40 Days, like where the Nephilim are drowning in the flood. I made a video about this. I like never hear this song on the radio, but today it played in the soup kitchen. So this is a song. I think it's like clay, 3 jars of clay. I think it's jars of clay. I made a video review on this song before because of the lyrics. Like if I don't drown after 40 days, and like it's just about these like creatures dying in the flood or something. Like it's actually like really depressing. But that if I can't swim after 40 days, like I'm dying. I'm weak and I'm dying. Like the lyrics were sad. Anyways, this is about the Nephilim hybrid beings, which are now your narcissists today. Now they are in the kingdom of darkness attacking the believers. So, anyways, that song rarely plays because I like it. So if I hear it, I remember it. I haven't heard this on the radio in I don't know how long. I don't know, like 10 years or so. I don't know. I don't really listen to the radio much. But I have not heard this in years. And then it played at the soup kitchen today. The same day that the man, he might be the manager there or something. Or he was hired. So he didn't create the soup kitchen, but he's got like a management position there. And then when he says like, live like this is your last day and you're going to be judged tomorrow. And then this song about the Nephilim drowning in the flood was playing on the radio. Let's see here. Yeah, so then I did write down like when the neighbor, he lives a few houses down, said he would come help, and I actually kind of got like mad at him, and then I was thinking he's just wasting my time, cause like he sat around and he knew that the people that were coming into my house to fix things were bad, but he didn't tell me, so I assumed he's got his spirits. He has actually told me things and been helpful too. It's like he's good and bad. But, like, so I don't trust him. But when I said, I'm like, hey, neighbor. And I thought, it actually sounded like, I'll be right there. And I'm like, oh, it sounded like he was. I believed that. The way he said it, and it sounded like he wanted to be helpful. But then he didn't. And I waited, and it was like a half hour. And then I'm like, I gotta go. And then I left. That was a half hour, not 10 minutes. But, he did try to come over anyways later. So then I was thinking, I even wrote down, he was just wasting my time. Well, you know what? They know my situation. The spirits spy on me. They know that I was already gone and it wasn't going to happen. So then they can text me later and make it seem like they tried to come help. So he's probably still an enemy. But he did tell me some information and stuff, so that's good. Anyways, I was thinking that he's an enemy, said he was going to help me and left, and just wasted my time because I could have got to the gym sooner. But, then I got a text that like 15 minutes or 20 minutes after I left that he was at my house and to fix my bike. Well, that would have been like 45 minutes instead of 10 minutes to come over. And I was going to say, I gotta leave soon. I didn't say that. Because he was like, I'll be over in 10 minutes, and then he was busy and someone else was there. So then I didn't follow up and push too hard, because I know that looks pathetic, and I know like the God doesn't want us to do that. What's going to happen will happen. He said he'd be at my house in 10 minutes, so maybe 45 minutes later he came over according to the text message. But maybe he knew I was already gone and then sent the text message. That's what I'm saying. He might have come over and wanted to help, or he waited until I left and then he came over. I don't know which one it is. But maybe he tried to help. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. Um, or maybe, actually he texted and said it's 6:20 or something. He was at my house to, and I don't have a cell phone. I already left. And then I got home. It was almost 8 o'clock, and I texted, and I thought about not replying at all. I thought about it. But then the text did say, he's at my house to fix my bike. 45 minutes instead of 10 minutes. I had to leave. I was going to tell him. I actually went to knock on his door to tell him I was going to leave. And there were some women that answered the door, and then they said they would tell him. Apparently they didn't, because then he texted me to say he was at my house. So that's what I mean. Maybe they didn't even cross paths. Maybe he left, came back, then went to my yard, and I was gone. But, so anyways, who knows? Who knows? It's just like a depressing day, not getting anything done. There was a woman sitting next to me who told me some more places that do help with dog food and stuff if you can't afford it. But you do need a vehicle to get there. Like, oh, you can't get there without a vehicle. It's like 15 miles away. Okay, that's not going to work then. The gas to get there is not even really worth it. I'm just going to say. But anyways, that was interesting. She mentioned this she was sitting across from something, talking about getting animal food, and was within earshot of me, so I could overhear. And also, I don't know what kind of, if I get a bicycle from this charity, I don't know what kind of bike I'm going to get. Because, I didn't get to put in any information. I didn't get to put in what type of tires I want, or what kind of bike I want, or what type of things I need on it. I didn't put anything. So, who knows? I thought they'd make it and then tell me when it's done. Well, who knows what I'm going to get. Watch it be something that doesn't work for me. Because I got hills, so I sure hope it has gears on it. I mean, I hope it has got, it's a 10-speed. I didn't even care originally, but then, King Herod kept mentioning about 10 speeds and how important that is. And so, now I'm thinking maybe I'll get this bike and it's not a 10-speed, and I have to bike a mile uphill to get to the soup kitchen, and I need, then I was thinking I want something with big tires. And I didn't say anything. It's going to be what it is. Did you get one bike from them? I don't know if you can say things when it's done. I don't want to be rude and disrespectful. So who knows? It's either another attack or they will get me something nice or good. Good is not great. But it's up to God. I don't know what I'm going to get. Maybe I'll get something really awesome, but probably I'm imagining most likely what happens to me is I get something that it's not perfect for me. It's not ideal. It would work better for someone else. So what I really could use or really want, I don't get. So who knows? But it's 2026 now, so maybe it will be good. Maybe it actually will be good. Just disappointed. That guy at the gym, he just didn't care, and he was just kind of he wasn't horrible, but I didn't like his personality. And I didn't know anything about it, but I didn't like it because the way he answered my questions, he had no care at all. He didn't care at all, and he didn't speak loud enough for me to really hear. So I said, you might want to put that on your sign, and then he was like, what? And you might want to, and then he thought I would stop and back away. He wasn't rude or anything, but the way he said it is maybe I'm thinking he wasn't used to, if he said what, and then most people wouldn't repeat them, and I repeated it again with no delay. I said, you might want to put that on the sign there before I walk here. I was very serious, and they'd never seen me like that. But then after that, I saw that the girl employee, she was they were happy, they were cheering, very childish, and doing Ring Around the Rosie or something. She was really happy and yay, and going in a circle, skipping or something. She was so happy, and that was nice. But it's just another little thing to make the day bad, because I have no reason to be happy. I don't get to be happy. And so, it's just another, it's not the humiliation of carrying the bike around town, the bike wheel. and then it doesn't get fixed. And it just looks pathetic. Like, I can't even get a bike. I got a wheel, and I can't get the wheel on, and like, probably the guy, I don't know, was he going to help me, or he waited until I left and then texted me and said, "Oh, I was there." I don't know. I don't know. But he said 10 minutes, not 45. Anyways, but then the employees, like the girls, were like so happy, and especially this one who I see a lot, just skipping and going in circles, like yay. And apparently she just got herself a boyfriend or something. I didn't even know this. I went to sign up for the massage chair, and then this is probably it's spiritual warfare. This is what the demons and devils do to me. I was going to sign up for the massage chair, and then he made me take an extra minute. I might have got to use it again. I don't know, probably not. But every second counts, apparently, when they're going to close early. And so there's a really tall man standing there at the computer where you sign up for like the massage chairs and stuff. And then he signed up for something, and he was blocking it and talking to the woman that works there. And he said, "Oh, you're going to be busy. Oh, you're going out with your new boyfriend tonight, aren't you?" Or something. So, like, I wasn't trying to listen. I was trying to use the machine to sign up for the massage chair. So he signed up for something and then stood in front of it and blocked me from using it and made it take longer. And then he talked to her, and it's like, so she was going to be busy and going out with her new boyfriend, and they were so happy. And so anyways, it took an extra minute for me to sign up for it, and then he leaves. Okay, you're supposed to sign up for it and then move aside. Okay, but he might not have done it on purpose. But this is what the kingdom of darkness does to me. Demons in people, even if they don't know, cause them to get in my way and block me. They do this all the time. But, he was talking to her. It would have been inappropriate to interject at that. They do this all the time. Like, the one blocks the coffee machine, and then he was blocking the sign-in station. I probably couldn't have went again. But, maybe 10 seconds would have made the difference, and the machine still would have been online. I don't know. But, so she was real happy, and then I just, like, good boy. Then I'm just walking home, and then, I did see some fireworks. So that meant that my dog was upset, and then of course gets in my dirty clothes, gets in my clean clothes, knocks stuff off, and makes a mess. And this was all stuff I wanted to sell. All of my product pictures are on the computer that is broke. I don't have enough storage space on this computer to take pictures. I actually have to start uploading these videos because it's about full. So it's just not a good situation. Now I have to do I have to throw this? Good boy. I have to throw this stuff in the trash now. Like, I would take it to the soup kitchen and give it to people, and I did that before with a couple of things. But now I had a bike then with the bike basket. Now I have to carry it 1.5 miles. No. So you want me to throw this stuff in the trash or give it to the neighbors that spy on me and don't like me? Like, I don't know. I don't think that I'm not picking it up. It's going to stay there. It's going to stay there. And it's like, I will do any mission for the Lord, but like, I'm not picking that up. Fuck it. I'm not. It's going to stay. It's going to stay. It has no, like, I've cleaned stuff before. I don't get restored. Whether I clean it or not, I'm not going to be restored. It's going to happen when it happens, and it's not going to matter if I pick that up or if I don't pick that up. I'm not throwing it in the trash. I'm not going to do it. So it's just going to stay there. And I'm not going to clean it either. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to do what I want to do. I will do any mission for the Lord, but I'm going to do what I want to do too. And God, you hear me. I've said this. I do any mission for you. I live, I get up, I do whatever what I think you want me to do, I go out and do. But I'm going to do what I want to too. Even if you don't want me. I don't sin. I'm just going to say. I'm going to do, like, if my stuff gets knocked on the floor and dirty, I'm going to leave it, is what I'm saying. And if I want to do something that's maybe greedy, but it's not a sin, I'm going to do it. But I'm also going to do all the missions from the Lord. And somebody tries to disrespect me, I'm going to be telling them right away. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Just like, this is how I feel right now. It's not a Karen. It's just like, you give people the benefit of the doubt, and then they're always like, they're always trying to get me. It's never, it's never an accident. It's always on purpose. Every single fucking time. And I have no last minute miracles. Every single prophecy channel said last minute miracle. I had no miracles. They tried to get me all day, and they just do little things. Little things that just ruin your day. And my day is not ruined, but like something good, could have happened. That's all I'm saying. Like something good. Something good. Maybe in the very beginning there were some things that were funny, but then like after that, just nothing good happened. And I was even supposed to get a call from Macari. Oh, guess what? They didn't call me back. And I still wasn't able to get a hold of the gas company. They're going to be closed tomorrow. So, are they going to turn my heat off? I don't know. Like, where is my restoration? It's not here. So, guess what? I'm not cleaning up that mess. I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to do what I want to do. But I'm also going to serve God. I'm going to serve God, but I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm not cleaning up that. I don't have a way to clean it. Until a way to take care of it presents itself, it's just going to stay. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, thanks for watching. 2025 was a horrible year. Okay, but I guess I like who I've become more. I was almost like a baby a couple years ago, and also I'd been poisoned and witchcraft was using me, so like my energy was real low. Like my health wasn't good because I'd been poisoned. I was like bleeding and stuff, so I didn't have like the energy, and my voice was different too. So I do like who I've become. It's just like that last minute miracle, it never came. And I was thinking like if I could get my bike working, but no, that didn't happen either. So I guess maybe you could say, oh, 2026. Well, it could be tomorrow, but I don't care. It was supposed to be 2025, but everybody lied. Everybody lied. Everyone that said last minute miracle lied. Every single one. So I think like maybe a couple lied, and then other people just watched those videos and heard it, and then they just repeated the lie. And it was not inspired from God, because God is not a liar. So, but when I hear that, I don't necessarily believe it, but you hear it like 100 times, and then then if it doesn't happen, then it's just kind of like, I wouldn't have cared, but then you told me, and it didn't happen. But that wasn't from God, and that's the thing. Like they mix the truth with their own message. And this has happened since the beginning of time. Okay, that's 2025.